G'day everyone. Recently I was contacted by a company if I wanted to review a wireless system for audio. Now I use the Rode Wireless Go and I really do like this, but there's a couple of features about this that particularly interested me. Now the unit is, so it's the Comica BoomX-D. Now there's a couple of different variations of this. This one here has one receiver and two transmitters, and there are other versions of this. If we look here, there also is one where you can get smartphone attachments as well. I think one's for Samsung and one's for the Apple phones. So just to show you a little bit about this, it is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless system. There's dual transmitters and obviously one receiver. It's meant to have low latency, etc. But you can read that all yourself. It's quite a good unit. Now there's a couple of things that I'm really interested in about this, and when I take it out, I'll show you what they are. But let's unbox it and have a look what's inside this. So you just open it from the front, and then there's just a manual in here. There was also a pin that I think that's what you reset your units with. And then there's the units that are inside here. There's obviously one receiver and two transmitters. And they're fairly small looking at them. I mean, if you want to get a thing about the size, you can sort of see compared to the Rode here that it's about the same width, but the Rode looks a little bit smaller, and this one is a little bit higher up as well. But like I said, there's a couple of things that really interest me about this, but let me take them all out and I'll show you what's in the box anyway. So we get two of the transmitters, which are here, and then there's the one receiver, which is here. And just to show you a little bit about these. Okay, so we'll start off first by looking at the transmitter. So this is the inbuilt microphone, and then you've got your input for your mic there. Now on the side there, you've just got your USB-C, and the reset button is there as well. On this side here, you've just got your pair button and also your on-off switch. So with the receiver, what you've got here is you've got your headphone socket, and then this is where you connect it into your camera with the lead that's supplied. You've also got USB-C, and on this side here, you've got your reset switch on off, and also it says to go from mono to stereo, and that's where you adjust your levels through this as well. You've got a headphone socket there as well. So this is what I really like about this. Now, for instance, if you're using a ZV-1 or if you're using something like an A7, an A6400, you're going to be able to check the audio through this. So that's a really big difference compared to the Rode microphones. And you have the same thing, which is your power, stereo switch, etc. on this as well. So what we'll do, we'll have a look at what else is in this box. So I'll take out what's in here. So it's got two little boxes that are in it. We'll have a look at what's in this one first. So I think that this is a windsock, I think. Okay, so this is your little windsock. That's your little windsock. Now that will go over the top of the microphones. I'm just going to see how easy it is to push on. Yeah, it's very easy. So they just fit over the top like that. Now, I have to admit that I've never really been happy with the windsock version on the Rodes, even though they sent me out new versions that sort of lock on. I've never found them really to be that reliable, whereas this one seems like it's very, very good, and it's not going to fall off unless you actually pull it off. So I think that's a pretty good system there. So I'd say we've probably got two of those. That's the other one there. And then we've got a USB-C lead, which will be here. So that's to charge it. Now, I believe you only get one of those. Now, the leads that you're getting inside this, so this one here, this lead is for your smartphone. It says that's a TRRS. This lead here is for Canon, Nikon, etc. So that's if you're running Canon cameras, and then you have a Sony lead as well if you're running Sony, Panasonic or Fujifilm. So you've got those three leads in there. Let's have a look what's in here. Now you also get two lapel microphones. It really is incredible what you're getting with this. With the Rode, you don't get anything like the hardware that you're getting here. Again, you've got a little windsock that's on the top of this, and then you've got your lead. Now, the way that these plug in is, I'll show you on this one. There's a little sort of holder here that you plug this into it like this, and then that clip pops in, so then this can't pull out. So it's a very, very stable system, the way that this is attached, and it looks like it's really good. So what we'll do, we'll power them up, and then I'll just sort of give you a look at how the system actually works. Okay, so what I've done now is I've turned the units on. You can see here that this is the receiver. So if you change these levels, you'll notice that what will happen is I can then turn the units up or down depending on where you press these. Now you'll see too that the receivers are listed here. Now I'll show you both of these together. So one will be A, one will be B, and you can see that the audio is being reflected in the level meters down the bottom there as well. So it's a really nice little setup. Okay, so let's look at how the system works. So all you do is just put on the receiver onto the hot shoe of your camera, or a cold shoe if you have it on a cage or something, and then you use the appropriate lead to connect to your camera itself. And that's really all you have to do. Now I can then see that these are metering, and I can also see them metering here. Now I'm using the A7 III. Now, so to tell you how I've set this up, I've got the camera itself, the preamp is set to 2 if you look on the back. And then on the units itself, I'm using the controls at the side here of the units, and they're on +3 dB, and that seems to give me a good signal. What you've got to watch is that you just don't see it peaking in the indicators through here, so you can check that yourself to make sure that it's okay. So now it looks like it's all set and ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go outside and we're going to go and test it too to see how it sounds. Now, one thing I thought I'd sort of clear up here too, it's extremely windy outside, so I thought I'd do a test first in the studio so you can hear how the audio will sound directly from this lav into the camera. So we'll look at that first. Okay, this is a test of the Comica. It was very windy outside, so I thought I'd do it into the studio. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we'll do is we'll have a listen between the lav mic and also with the lav mic off. So we'll listen to that now. Okay, so now I'm testing the Comica with the lav microphone attached. So testing to see how the audio is with this. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, testing. This is the lav mic, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is just testing with the unit itself. So testing how the audio sounds here. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we'll do is we'll go out, and what I want to do here is I want to do a range test, see how far I can walk with this wireless transmitter, and just go as far as possible. So let's see how far I can go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a test, and I'm going to try this with this setup, and I'm going to step back. I'll probably will try and get to about 50 meters and I'll stop, but we'll see if the signal disappears. Then I'll also try walking away from it and see how quickly it disappears going the other way. So let's go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 8, 9, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Can you still hear me now? Is it still clear? Now I'm going to turn around and I think it'll immediately disappear. So if I turn... Yeah. Did it disappear now? What I thought I'd do now is I thought I'd turn around and face away from the camera so that the wireless transmitter is actually on the front of me, so it's not in direct line of sight of the camera. So we'll have a look at that now as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still hear me? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40. Still hear me? 41, 42, 44,
Stop.
45, 46.
Cutting out.
Yeah, okay, so 46. So let's sum everything up. Overall, really good little system. I mean, I love the way you can have 2 units, so you could have 2 people talking at the same time, and that's really good. Like if, say, for instance, I wanted to have the bride and groom talking at once, I could mic both up, which is really nice compared to, say, what I could do with the Rode. Also, it's great to be able to choose between stereo and mono. That's also a nice feature as well. I really enjoyed sort of playing around with that, and you heard that when I showed things at the beginning, which was the walking and the stream flowing, etc. You could sort of hear that, how the stereo sound is there. Now, it does put them onto individual channels, so if you did want to separate later, you could do if you wanted to go that way, or you can just record directly in mono, which is what I did when I was talking. The range is really good. I mean, you saw that I got over 100, I think I got to around about 110, 120 meters before, well, actually, I gave up. I just stopped going any further. And I think it was, as soon as I turned around, though, it did lose a signal. When I did the signal walking away, I got to over 40 meters. I think it was about 46 meters before the signal cut out. So that's really good in itself. So overall, I think it's really good. It was a pity that it was so windy, though, but I did show how they sound when I showed those bits that were recorded in the studio, so that gives you an idea about how they would be normally. It was incredibly windy out there. Next time, later on, somewhere down the track, I will do one where I compare this to, say, the Rode. I just didn't have time at this stage, but I'll do that later on. Thank you so much, Andy Sign, for sending me this. I will leave the links down below. If anyone wants to purchase it, they can purchase it directly through those links. Apart from that, guys, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.